So what do you do when your flesh fails, when your heart fails? In the scriptures, we get to read about a psalmist in the book of Psalm 73. And allow me just to bring to your attention this experience of this person who was going through a very difficult and trying season in his life. And this is how he begins the psalm. Surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold, for I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And this is how he says it. They seem to have no struggles. Their bodies are healthy and strong. They're free from common human burdens. They're not plagued by human ills. And he goes on to say, their pride is their necklace. They clothe themselves with violence. From their callous hearts comes iniquity. Their evil imaginations have no limits. They scoff and speak with malice. With arrogance, they threaten oppression. Their mouths lay claim to heaven, and their tongues take possession of the earth. Therefore, their people turn to them and drink up waters in abundance. They say, how would God know? Listen to that. Does the Most High know anything? Just listen to that level of arrogance. Now, this is what the wicked are like. They're always free of care. They go on amassing wealth. I don't know if you're seeing this happening around and you're wondering, okay, here you are, a faithful person. You're working hard in your workplace, ensuring that you uphold integrity, honesty, openness. But there are folks who are living the other kind of life and they're amassing wealth. Verse 13, the author goes ahead and he says, surely in vain have I kept my heart pure and have washed my hands in innocence. All day long I have been afflicted, and every morning brings new punishment. And he says in verse 16, when I tried to understand all these things, it troubled me so deeply. It troubled me so deeply. But the verse here that for me I consider a turning point for this gentleman is this verse that he spoke in verse 17. Till I entered the sanctuary of God, then I understood their final destiny. There are times and moments, just like this gentleman, you begin wondering, have you kept your heart pure? Have you been able to do what God has expected of you to do? But yet, on the other hand, those who seem to be far away from God somehow are exhibiting prosperity, are exhibiting this successful life, and it can get confusing. But what I love about this man is when he comes and he says, until I entered the sanctuary of the Lord, did I understand their final destiny. This is what I believe, that when you and I are away from God, it is possible to be carried away by the concerns and the luredness that we find in this life. But he sits down, analyzes the entire situation, and right there, in the final verses, in verse 26, he comes and he says this word, there are times that my flesh will fail. There are times that my heart will fail. But this is what he says, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forevermore. Listen to this. I could be speaking and addressing to you right now, and you feel as if, your heart is in pieces. Your heart is broken. Your strength is no longer there. Allow me just to say this to you today. God is the strength of your heart and your portion forevermore. This for me is such an enormous, a great inviting reality in our lives. That God is the strength of our hearts and our portion forevermore. He said this in verse 25, whom have I in heaven but you? Earth has nothing I desire besides you. Regardless of what we face and encounter, never forget that truth and that reality. Whom have we in heaven but God? God is your everything. Jesus is your everything. And you can always look up to him. Even when your heart fails, when your strength fails, you can always turn to Jesus, look up to him, and I trust and believe he will carry you through regardless of the seasons you encounter in this life. May the Lord bless you and do you good. And just in case you'd love somebody to pray with you and stand with you in the season that you're in, feel free to reach out to us on whichever platform you are watching us from. The Lord do you well.